Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream where we continue to work on a little VR game. Or little, it's going to be a big VR game when it's done. But yeah, as you can see, I added some fire in between streams. And this is actually a small pixel art fire I found on itch. It's I think it's an 8x8 sprite fire, so it's half the size of the walls and stuff. But it kind of works. It seems like there is something burning there now. I'm not totally sure about the aesthetics of the fire yet. But that's not the only big thing I did in between streams. And it's actually the reason why I didn't stream yesterday. Because there was nothing working. And I'm not completely done. But I switched to TypeScript. I think this is my component. Let's close that. We don't need it. But I switched over to TypeScript completely. Everything is TypeScript now. Yeah, and I wasn't too big of a fan of TypeScript, but everything was already typed in code. There's probably a lot of those codes here as well, yeah. I had everything written down like this. And basically what I did is just add the things. But then I got into issues and in trouble. Because not everything is as easy as this. I actually think I commented out a whole bunch of code here in the extractor. This uses all kinds of crazy stuff that can only be done in JavaScript. So I just decided to comment it and ignore it. So that's my strategy. I don't like to use any for anything. I just hide it. And all the errors, it doesn't really matter. See, I didn't type these, but as you can see, because it is typed up here, I can just say, well, just take it from the docs. Now, it doesn't know what a room type is, so we need to resolve that. Also, it wants to have these as undefined, and the reason is that because they are not set in the constructor, technically they can be undefined. Now this is a template, and I'm not sure where I use that template even. It's just used for these. I think I'm not instantiating new templates. It's just new. No. In that case, I might just do an interface. Interface. Right? So yeah, the first part of what we're going to do today is... Yeah, no, it doesn't matter that it's not... We can remove the undefines. Oh, but now we can do this. Because an interface doesn't have this. But I'm not sure. I don't think it matters. There. So yeah, I've been going through the code and trying to get it to work. Now this is type, is not, string is not, because this is a room type. Oh, an entrance. Oh, that's interesting. No, it is a room type. Oh, it is not a room type. So yeah, I've been using TypeScript since the beginning of TypeScript. since the early betas, when I'm not sure if Anders Hallsberg, the inventor of TypeScript, is still working on it, but at that time he would just respond to bug reports and those kind of things, which is really cool. I believe he invented C# as well. But now the trick is, how do we tell this? I know. What we can do is go to Rosie. So Rosie is my AI chat assistant, and she can do code. Technically, I think if I would enable this, oh, apparently she's completely broken at that point. Well, in that case, she could read from VS Code as well. There is I built a VS Code extension that makes a WebSocket connection to Rosie. Can you convert this Java script code to TypeScript? So in cases where I don't really know what to do, I'm asking Rosie, and she's running ChatGPT 4. See, now we have room type there already. I'm not sure if this is the exact way we need to do this. Because why is it a string? It's because we have entrance here, right? Is that, but it is the way to go. If Rosie said it was fine. It said more. She gives some. In this type code, I defined a room type which can be used for specific string values. Then I created an object and a room type to the same. I've just explained what the code does. There we go. Easy peasy. So I rarely use Google anymore or Bing. While coding, I use Rosie. And I don't get it, because she... The only thing I needed to do, I thought, was just to... So apparently I broke my extension. It's gone. It's gone. Okay, but that's a room template. There were 4 errors in room template. There's also an error here. Template. String undefined assignable to parameter types. String. Oh yeah, it's not undefined anymore. So we can remove this. Now template can be null. Because get room template can be null. Because this room template can be null. But I don't want this to be able to be null. We can say, well, if you do an exclamation mark, you say, well, this should not be null. And why is that? Well, technically, technically this can be null. So we need to handle the nulls. But if we want to teleport to a position and we don't get a I think this is fine. It will be weird because we are inside the room. Console.error no template found for current room. Odd. We're oh. No template found for the current room. Odd, we're in it. We should not get here. That's one of those errors. But that's the game state. Okay, let's save. Let's close everything. Now the code is working, but every now and then I'm running the TypeScript compiler just to see where the errors are. There are a lot of errors in Grid. Let's have a look there. I don't want to know. Oh, this is completely not typed yet. And things are just not used. Now I wonder if I use Grid at all. And that's why there's a lot of errors. I actually removed the file. But then I noticed that there was this Grid helper, which had a reference to Grid. But then again, I'm not sure if I'm using this one. I'm not using that function. I think I'm using this function. Yeah, in the level generator. But this is not supposed to be in here. So maybe I should get the inverted direction out of this and then just delete both files. Now where can we put this? It should be a... Let's make a new util for it. These are the direction helpers.ts. Oh, let's keep it. This. And we need to have it referenced there. So what this does is just inverting the directions. North becomes south, south becomes north, east, west, and west, east. Just inverting a direction. Just one of those small utility helper functions. But now we don't need the Grid helper anymore. So I think... let's see where this is used in here. So we're missing this. So this is direction helper now. That fixes that. We're getting there. So technically we should be able to just delete these two files. Now we are using source control. But if I delete them and then undelete them, I lost the changes, so that refactoring bit is gone. So let's call this work in progress. WIP. Doesn't really matter. I just want to have that extra commit in there. And now I'm going to delete these two files. Save. Oh, I don't need to save any, actually. Let's run the compiler. Let's see what happens. One error here. Okay, there's no error here. Why does it say there's an error in this line? There's 25 errors. That could be there. Already included rune helper. Interesting. There's only one import there. Oh well. Forget about it. I don't see errors here. It's fine. Just going to ignore it. Are we using cells? I don't think we're using the cells anymore. Let's check cell. A lot of this stuff comes from the previous dungeon generator, and I kept it in because I didn't know what I needed to delete, what I needed to have still in there. But I think cells is also one that can be deleted. And then we're looking at the tile. So at first I was generating a 3D grid. 3D grid. That's why it says 3D grid, and I'm pointing at my screen. You can't see I'm pointing at my screen, but that's why I'm talking about a 3D grid. I switched it to a 2D maze. So now I'm just generating this maze. There is no 3D grid anymore. But I was generating the level as a whole, but it just became way too intense and way too heavy to have it there. So I decided to just not do that. This will be the safe room. If you are in this room, you're safe. This is the start room. The little guy that's standing there, I'm not sure if he stays here, but he will explain the game and what you need to do. And it could be one of the dwarves that lived in these mines. Now I want to make this look more like mines. There need to be scaffolding or something on the sides, and I want to change the doors because they're too flat right now. Okay, back to the code. Oh, we're getting close. Only 13 errors. So the biggest one is index TS. Yeah. I didn't create this file, so I cannot do anything about this. This file is generated by Wonderland. We'll figure that out at some point. We need to get rid of the other errors. Now this one is also coming from the node modules, which is strange. And that's probably my lack of TypeScript knowledge. I must have done something wrong. I excluded node modules. So why is this in here? It's a node module. That should not be here. I don't get it. Maybe it's an index. No, it's not because I don't use it. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't get why this is in here. So the bottom two are useless. So let's pick this one. Tile has three errors, which is an easy one. I can do annotate. I actually can remove this. It doesn't make any sense to have it in here. Now there are some types missing here as well, so we just do annotate everything. It's fine. So now we have the tile. Now we don't need to have these specified with an exclamation mark. These cannot be null because they are initialized in the constructor. Now if you don't specify an object 3D, and that is basically because something else is calling this. So this is just a check. Actually, we should also check if we want to do it correctly. If not name, or name.length 0. Name should not be empty. And this is one of the things I like about TypeScript. It forces you to write defensive code. Well, not in this case, but I just did it because it was here. Anyway, but I need to. You just get an error. Now you can turn it off. I have strict set to true. I also had allow.js set to true. So I am going to remove this at some point. Because I don't allow JS anymore. But since I had... At first I started these files one by one. Converting them to TS, to TypeScript. We have less errors. We have 10. So we end up with 6. So we need to fix 4. Our deep clone. Okay, can we fix this automatically? Convert named export to default export. Now I want to give the named export infer function. Well, technically it is true. The whole idea is that it can clone anything. It just creates a deep clone of an object by creating a new object. Then recursively clone every property that's on there. Are we still using this? I was using this at some point. I'm not even using it. Okay. I spent hours on that code. Hours. There's an error here, but I don't see it. This. You know what? I'm deleting it. Now we have an error. Now we put that line back. Is the error gone now? No. It's a weird error. Already included file helpers TS. Differs from the file. Only encasing. Oh. That's interesting. Direction helpers. Do we have... No. Why did it want to have the file... I changed it. I wrote the file with a capital D first, and then I changed it. But now it wants to have it capitalized? Why? It thinks it should be capitalized. Are these files... No. They're not in here? How does this work? Why does it want to have a capital? Is it fine now? Now I see an error. Yes, now it's fine. Ah! If this is a door, then we assume it's a door. Right? Okay, now we have 6 errors. 6 errors that I cannot do anything with. Nice. I still don't get So now I have an error here. It's already included, but how? Is it because it is in here now? If I just delete the dist folder, is it using the dist folder? Now it should not be capitalized in dist folder. Oh wait, did I accidentally add this folder? It's empty. Yeah, go. I clicked on this Azurite stuff. And then it added that folder. Why? Deleted files, fixed errors. Is there any way to clear the cache or something? Oh, you can also watch. That's nice. Yeah, TSC. TSC. It's typing is hard. It's weird. Do I use the direction helper anywhere else? No, this is the only place where I use it. I don't get it. Why? I will. It's just Quigley's. Let's ignore it. There, done. Done and gone. Clear this, done. If you don't see it's not there. Let's make sure this builds. Ah, no! Cannot resolve cell TS. Uh-oh. Cell, grid, deep clone. All the stuff we deleted. Yeah, because I'm just going to reopen the project. I don't care. See? Now it works. There are some errors in this version that when you open it, but that's not the point. As a local device, or I think it's still running. So yeah. That works. Console, we have a lot of stuff, but no errors. I started disabling a lot of these because I'm actually only interested in the errors. We don't have errors, it's fine by me. Next up. Of course we want to see VR, right? We do a VR stream, then we need to check it out in VR. So you should be able to see this. Now let's make sure. Now this map is going away at some point, right here. I've decided I needed to include the map into the game, but it only would start showing up as you traverse through, so you can find your way back and find where possible exits are. So we have this nice pixel art sword. We have the fire. I think the fire looks really nice, and we can teleport, and I did it in such a way we cannot teleport into the fire anymore. But it's nice. We can get close, but we cannot go into the fire. Except when we stand next to it. This is cool, and now we can also go into the door. And then we are in the next room. Now, this little guy and the rat are still here because they're in every single room. We are pretty close to the light source here. Nice. And I think we came from that room, so we can just traverse through the level. As you can see, this is the same room as we were before. This is a different room. I like that there's a bed there in the corner. I think this room should be able to spawn a bed there. Or a rat, anything in that corner. Wait, this is a dead end. Where's that door there? Oh, there's a door. Nice. So yeah, we're going through the dungeon now. Actually, then accidentally... No. Hey, that's weird. Oh, no, that's not as weird as it looks. It's actually... So, what was happening is... There is a collider. I can't click at the top of the door. But the collider is twice as big as the door. So, under the ground, there is the same size as the door. Oh, this is the treasure room. So... There will be chests here. I think it might be a nice one to just start adding some stuff like chests to the room. And I need to fix the door somehow. But that's... Let me explain what needs to happen there. And it's tricky. I need to explain some stuff about how this game works. So, this is Wonderland. The engine and the editor that's running the game. Now we have these level blocks. And these are all the blocks that are in the game right now. It's not much. We have this rock thing. And we have a wall. And this is the door. As you can see, there's a collider. And the walls as well. There's a collider. The thing with the colliders is... the pivot of the door is at the bottom. So if I would set this collider to half, a half, a half... the collider is half at the bottom. So in order to get this to fit the door, I need to set it to 2. But then it's in the ground as well. Now what I should do is make a child. Oh, the door already has a child. But the tricky part is... there is a component on the door that I need to add dynamically. I think it's in a room renderer. Set up lights, create interior, make tile. It should be in here. Oh, here. So if the door already has a component, so I'm cloning all the objects. It's faster to recycle all the objects from a big pool. So when you exit the level, all objects are reset, all components are deactivated. So the components are not removed, they stay on the objects. So there could be, and it happens, that there's already a door component on the object, but it's inactivated. But I need to set up the direction and the targets of the things of the room where you go through when you pass through the door. So that's how the doors know what room is behind the door. Now this door handler takes the cursor target. And that cursor target is right here. And that cursor target responds to the collision. So if I move the collision, I need to change the cursor target as well. Now, I'm just thinking. I could check the cursor target in the children. This dot object. Can I do that? Is there a find? There's no find. There is no get component, but I think I made it at some point. Is it in my... I've used it before. I think I wrote code that looks up a component in the children. Clone. No, it's find child. This one is slightly different. But I could create a function like this that would find an object or a component in the children. And if I just add a function here that finds the component in the children, I find the cursor target there. I could set this up and I could just place the cursor target and the collision in a different object. Or I could say find child. I'm not sure why I don't see that. It should... It's in here. Oh, it's not exported. It's exported here. WUtils. Why did I do it like that? I could just name it. Could you say this dot object and then say collision object. Let child, and then we say like this. Child is an object with a component. Now we only need to make sure it's called collision object. And then we can have the door handler on the root. Now for the walls, I don't think it matters. I don't think I even use the collision on the walls. Might just block array, that's it. But now I can say add new object empty. Let's make sure it's absolutely the same name. I need to make this into a constant actually. Although I don't think I need it anywhere else anyway. Let's call this collision object. Now I can take my collision and just move it there. Bloop. And I can take my collision target, move it there. Bloop. And now they are just... What's this? Oh, this is nice. It's a bug. There's weird lines now. Okay. Let me quickly grab a screenshot for later. So I can file a bug report or something. Huh. Odd. If I reopen the project, is it gone then? No. Interesting. I will file a bug report. I cannot close it. It's weird. But now I can make this into a 1. And now it's off, but I can translate this up 1. And now it fits the door exactly. It's still using the cursor target. It's still using the collision on the door. Technically this should work. And I can only test it in VR. So let's make sure we package. I'm going to select this. I can just hit play. Now it would open up in VR. Let me switch my scene to VR so we can see into my VR. Oh. I love that feature. Oh, it was already open. So this would open the new scene. And you can see it. Cool. Let's go to VR. So we should still be able to teleport, right? Not into the fire. And should be able to teleport close. The ray should not cast into the collider. Why am I bigger than the door now? It's sometimes, I think it's because I lay down my quest. So I should be able to teleport here without going through the door. And now the door here. Oh wait, can I do the top now? Oh, it works. Nice! It was the bug I needed to fix. Love it. Now, eventually this purple cube, this pink cube is going to go away. If you want to teleport, you hold down your trigger. And if you want to go to a door, you need to be here anyway. And then you just need to click the door. If you're this close, you need to click the door. And you go through the door, and then you enter the new room. That's how it's going to work. Hey, is it lagging? It might be lagging on the stream. It's not lagging on my end. That's I'm not dropping frames. I will check it out after the stream if there's anything wrong. I cannot see my screen while I'm wearing the VR headset. Or maybe I can. Let me check. If I just do it like this. Maybe it's because it's running full screen. That's local. What, lagging? Yeah, it's lagging a bit. It's doing too many updates, I think. Oh, now it's not. Oh, that's odd. It is not lagging in VR. So I hope soon everybody. I hope that I can publish a preview version soon. The game is open source, but when there is a game loop done, I will make it available for people to just start playing it. I've always done that with my games, so there will be a URL and then you can play it. That's a nice thing about WebXR and web games. You can just go and play it. Let's commit this fix for the door. Fixed the door collider. And actually, I think this is on my list of bugs even. No. I need to write better issues. It fixes part of this issue. The walls don't have these. Well, let's fix the walls as well. Let's do add collision. No, let's not do it like this. Let's take the collision object I don't think these... I have this as well. It's weird. It shouldn't be there. Now the reason... The pivot is at the bottom, so I can place them nicely. So I need to move everything up. Let's do the same here. Oh, let's call this... Let's name them all the same so we know what they are. Huh? I know what happened there. So you can copy these these lines. I will show you as soon as I have moved this one. So now it is at the bottom still. So say I want to copy these values over from this one. You can just hover over the value, hit Control C, and then you go to the other one, hover over it, Control V, and then it fixes it. I think that is what's happening. Now the funny thing is, everything you see is in a JSON object in the project file, and that's why you had some JSON. This is actually an array of numbers. So I copied the numbers now, and if I go to the code and say I would like to use it in here, I can just do Control V, and now I have that as the JSON object. And even all these objects, say I want to copy this to something else, I can just copy it. Now this is a little bit more data. Oh, I think that's the bug. Huh. So all these lines are because those components are in there. Wait, let me. I just took a screenshot to file a bug, but I need to write this down somewhere. There. I can file a bug report. But now the colliders are correctly placed everywhere. Save. Let's quickly check that it works. Let me switch to VR real quick. Let's refresh this. I wonder if it still feels laggy. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out. Oh yeah, it's working. It's, you see the thing. So now we have half of the colliders. So there are no colliders on the ground anymore. I want to hit you with my sword at some point. So pretty soon we will be able to do this. I cannot walk. Now I'm... Oof. This will be so much fun. Now I just realized my sword is a different scale. Although I think I did that on purpose. That's interesting. It's exactly... maybe my sword needs to be bigger. Everything is that scale. My sword is half of it, but it doesn't feel too small. But let's finish that little task. It's cool that it's done. I like finishing tasks. Done. Save. Fix the colliders. Now. Commit. And push. Now what's next? I really want to I want to remove that enemies So, how I normally do this is I create a pool. There won't be an unlimited amount of enemies in a room. So there will be a maximum of, if at some point there are 3 rats in a room, there are a lot of rats in the room. And it will be tough fighting them. So I never need to have more than 3 rats here. So I'm normally would create a pool of enemies, for example. Now the character I dropped in here because I just cloned it. Now this is actually the rat. I was using my flip book, and it needs a material. It doesn't really matter what material, as long as it has the right shader. And that's why I just dropped the material in here. It's the wall material. And this is the little person that's standing there. Oh, I need to check the size of the sword as well. Controller, right, weapon, mesh. Yeah, I sized it down. I think it's fine. Maybe I need to scale it up a little bit, but I think if it's too big, it's weird. Now, there will be random swords. I found this library with swords. And actually, why is the Q storage still in there? I thought I deleted that. I thought I deleted that. Delete. Yes. I cannot delete it. Unable to delete directory. Refresh. Now it's gone. Okay. As I was saying, I have this static folder, and there is a weapons folder in here, and iron. And here are a couple of iron swords. So I just put one in, but there will be random swords. And you can find one. And I think iron swords will just have a certain amount of stats. Ranging between a damage value of 1 and 5. But then you can find ores or gems and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then you can upgrade your weapon to the next tier, say gold. And then they will be a bit stronger. And then you get diamond, and they will be even stronger. And then you have steel. And if you have steel weapons, they are mega strong, and you can kill everybody with these. But also, I was thinking of having... So you start out pretty easy. The first few levels, maybe, or rooms, you won't have any enemies, maybe a bat or a rat, that's it. And then the further you progress, things will be getting harder and harder and harder. And there will be maybe 3 ranges. So if there are about 60 levels, the first 20 are easy, then they get harder, and then the last ones will be really, really tough. Now, it's a roguelike type game, so there's permadeath. There are rooms with traps. But I'm going to make this different at first. I need to figure out a way of doing stuff. We have this room templates. So the idea was, when there's an X, there is a random chance of spawning a thing there. There's no X here, so there should be no enemies. Now I want to have that special character in the room. Now I need to do something to make that work. Now there are enough characters. For the enemies, I think I might add descriptions somehow, like a loot table, but then for the spawners. But how can I do that first? I can just say, well, I add like here's the campfire, so at this position 1. So 1 is that character 1. How many different characters could we have? And we can also just or what I can do is do 1, and 1 is a special character, and then we can say, well, characters. Maybe we want 2 characters, so we can do this one, and then we have character with a name. So this is little dude. So we can just do this, and now we know that character 1 is a little dude. Now we can have 2 characters, so we can just drop a 2 in here. So there could be 2 characters in the room, and then we say magic dude. And then we know, well, 1 is the little dude, and 2 is the magic dude. Let's do this. I think we can work with this. So these are the room templates. Yeah. No, not that can, that are spawned in this room. I don't think I need the description thing. The characters on the template. These are represented by a number corresponding to the index of the characters array. Okay, next, characters are spawned on the floor. So in the room renderer, we have this piece, and we need a floor and a ceiling, even if the map says C or X or, well, percentage, there will be a light, but also a floor. But I think I need to add all of this in here. Character 1. There isn't a cheaty way of doing it, right? What if we... For now, we can have only 3 characters. I don't even have 3 characters. Now, I think I got these from a thing here. This one, yeah. I used this sprite sheet. So this is the little guy, but also we have a mage, for example. Same style. I found these on itch. I don't think these will make it into the game eventually, but I just want to have some placeholder characters that I can use. But there is no dwarf or... There's a soldier. So maybe I'm just going to grab like the red mage and put that one in as well. Can we copy this the easiest way? Because I only need to have... No. And I can drop it in, right? It's giving an error. It would make my life so easy if I just can copy this in. Now I need to extract it. I don't like extracting. Anyway, it's extracted. Import tiled image. It's not 8, it's 1616 with a shift of 8. Oh, it's bigger. No. Let's do 3232. With a shift of 4. Is that correct? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We have all of them. I'm not going to do the animations and I just want to have a placeholder pixel dude. It's one too high. Can we just squeeze down his head a little bit? Do this, is it weird? Can we get away with this? Maybe... I think we can get away with this. Save, Control Shift T. Save. Okay, now we need to find a way to reference these. We have one here. It's called character now. But I'm on a way to talk to the guy. Because for a big part, they're going to tell the story of the game and explain to you what you're doing. But the first room also is the tutorial level. Welcome, traveler, etc., etc. First, let's see how the other dude looks. Let's go into Wonderland. Let's clone the character. I think we can just use the name of the guy. So if it's little dude, I think we can just name this one little dude. And the second one was magic dude, I think. Yeah. So we have little dude and magic dude. And the bat is there. Well, they should be. It should not matter eventually where they are. Oh, I cloned it. I need to move it only. Here we go. Oh. So there's magic dude. Oh, nice. I only now notice at the bottom here. I've never seen that. I never noticed. Huh, nice. So I exported the texture, so the dude should be in here. Now this uses character test. That's not a nice material, although so I don't think I can do this. I think now they both change. Yeah. So character test is character little dude. And then we're just going to duplicate this. And we call this character magic dude. And then we drop the material here. And we drop the texture there. And now it's magic dude. So now we have little dude and magic dude. So let's go into here. Let's refresh. Also, this should automatically refresh, but for some reason... Oh, he's standing in the fire. I kind of think it looks cool. Now we need to figure out a way of adding the characters. We already have the create interior. Would this be interior or... Maybe there isn't more setup. Let's make a new function for it. Setup lights, create interior, this dot add characters, room and room design. Okay, let's create this method. And at this point, I think we should run through everything again, similar to create interior. I was thinking of doing a seat, but I don't think... Although we could do this differently. I know that there's a character named 1, there's a character named 2, maybe a character named 3. So we can just say, well, let's grab the characters. So let's do room dot get template. And then we say pattern. Did I add that? No. I wrote a function, but I need to find it. This one. No, this is the other way around. This one returns the character at the position, but I have one, and that's called find character in string array. And here you give it a string array, which happens to be the pattern. So we can pass the pattern, and then we say the string. So that's 1. Now this will return the position of that character. Now there's only one character named 1, I think. If we need to change this at the point where we have multiple of the same characters. Now pattern can be null. So let's do let pattern type in this hard is equal to this. If not pattern, return. No, return This is void anyway, yeah. Now we know for sure we have a pattern. Character position is this. I think I'm going to do it the bad way. Am I bad for doing it like this? Yes, I can create a while loop. So as long as there are numbers, I can just go on. But I think I'll refactor it later. Right now there is only 2. But that's just to be safe. So if there's a character position, maybe one of the characters leaves and it's just not on the map anymore. This is complete BS. But not as BS as it looks. Because we need a reference. So a tile set. Tile set contains the object. So when we create a tile set, right. Here, I think. Yeah. It's saying the children. Now we can just add the enemies and the characters and all those kind of things to the tile set. But would that be a good idea? Would it matter? For the non-unique things, it does matter. But I'm cloning things anyway. So for an enemy, I can just define one and then clone it. I might need to modify my clone function, but I clone them anyway. The reason I need to do that is that there could be a component on there, but as I said, I won't have an infinite amount of enemies. I can just pull a couple of enemies and just set them up front. I think I'm just going to add it to the tile set. So there will be an object. This is going to be enemy objects. And this will be character objects. I was hoping it would do that. Things. So let's do enemy objects is just going to be a thing here. So here I'm going for the tiles. I'm actually setting things up because I want to be able to find them by name. But I guess I can just take the object name as well. But yeah, a door is a different size, I think. I'm just going to do it like this. This dot enemy objects equals enemy objects. Now this is private as well, so let's do it like this. we say this dot character object is character objects. Let's declare this. Now in the level generator, we need to pass those as well. Oh, this is still the old way. Nice. Huh? Page screen object. Light. It's halfway there. This is the new TypeScript way of doing things with the attributes. I think it's called. Is it attributes? Decorators. They're decorators. And I kind of like attributes in C#. Let's see. Let me grab the drink. Okay. Now where do the this sucks. This sucks. So what I do here, the level generator is in the root of this. I think level generator should be on its own thing. So I'm going to add a property for level blocks and then move it out of the way. So there's going to be a property of object. And this is the level blocks. And then we have a property object. And these are going to be the enemies. Enemies. And then we have one for the characters. Now, I think that I think it needs to be like this. And then it's the enemies, this. Damn it. This dot enemies dot children, and then we have this character. Yes, there we go. Now, do I anything else with this object? This dot object. No. So I only use the children to do that. So now I need to fix it. Let's go. Why aren't my other properties in here? Level generator. I did save it. No errors. Oh, there they are. So now we're going to do the level generator to its own object. So we have the game manager. It doesn't matter where it is. So let's use a child here. Let's call this level generator. I think there is a reference. I wonder, there should be a reference to the level generator somewhere. Game. Game has a level gen object, and that's a level generator. So game has a level gen object, and that's a level generator. So we need to drop this there. We have the nulls again. Is it because I move it, then it just... It's a bug. It's a little bit... Okay, now we have level blocks. There's our... these. We have... the enemies. And I'm going to do new... add root, new object. And these are the... characters. Capitalize it. Characters. And we're going to take these little dudes, move them to characters. Cool. Oh, and then we need to add them to the level generator characters. Let's see if we have errors. Let's make sure, absolutely sure it's building correctly. Yes, it does. Let's refresh. So there is a bet, so I think it works. No, we have an error. Door handler. Oh boy. On object dummy. No, where is this coming from? I see the door. This worked just a second ago. I have a little trick. I can move around. See, now it doesn't. There are two doors here. We don't get new errors. It's only the first room. We went south. Actually, it's a dead end. There's only one door here. Cool. All the pixel dudes are in here. But... something in my eye. Ah! Oh. Damn it! It's like an eyelash or something poking in my eye. The door handler. Oh, damn it. Oh, that's not the door handler. Door handler. It could be like a race condition type thing. Because in the room renderer, we set up the components. But is this... This is after we cloned it, so it should be there. It could be that it's either one of them. So if we don't... If we adding a new one, we get an error. If we use the old one, it's fine. Although I think if we add a component, it's going to start. I lost my door handler. We start. What error did we get? Wait a second. Child is undefined. If not child. Hey, sometimes I just don't understand why things happen. And sometimes it doesn't compile like it should. It should monitor changes, but occasionally. Now we have 3 errors. Oh, we don't return. We continue. I think we need to. We should have only 1 error, but. But then we're never going to be able to click it. So now technically the first room should be broken. So now we get this. We still have 3 errors. Didn't I? Now we have 1. Because door handler needs a door thing. Okay. Let me check in VR. Let's go to VR. This didn't refresh either. Now the browser is going away. Cable is stuck. Let's go to localhost. This one. Go VR. But the door works. I love these little guys. They're funny. I do like the red as well. It's a big red and a small guy. But they're dwarves anyway. And there is a shattering event happening, so... But the door works. Then why do we get an error on the door? I don't get why we get an error on the door the first time. Because the door works. Although... No, there's no door handler. The whole click event should not be set up if there's... Is a door handler on the door already? I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, we are rendering the characters. Now, what we can do... Let's focus on that for a little bit and just ignore that error. The best way to get rid of errors. So, if we have a character, let's move... So the level blocks is at -1000, so let's move these. And these out of the way as well. Now they are up here. I don't really see them anymore. Oh, they need. Oh, it's a plane, right? They need to be half up. It sucks. I actually need to make a thing for it, but I think I'm going to end the stream right here for today. Make sure you follow or subscribe actually to the channel and hit that bell so you know when I go live again, which could be tomorrow. I hope I have time tomorrow to go do some more work on the game, because I really want to have the characters in place. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and stuff as well. Just Sorskoot is the name. And I will see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!